Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Chris. I've been in the IT field for over 20 years, and today we're going to take a look at the new Linux Mint 22.1 beta. So if we go to their website here, it looks like they've modernized apt. So they've gone with AppKit and Captain. Okay. They've introduced some new power modes. Power saver, balanced, and performance. And you can get that under the battery. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Also, they've got a new night light feature, which you can lower the temperature of the screen. We'll take a look at that one too. And then the big thing here on 22.1 is this Cinnamon 6.4. There's a new default theme here, and it's a lot darker than normal. Everything's more rounded. Here's a dialog box where you'd put your password in, and then the confirmation in the display settings. Once you change your resolution, do you want to keep those changes? That's what that looks like. And then the volume rocker. They've continued to improve the Wayland compatibility and other improvements. Looks like they've got some new wallpapers. Main components. Okay, so since this is an incremental update, 22.1, we're still on kernel 6.8 and the 2404 Ubuntu base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and this is the blog. I'll put this in the description, and it's got the download links for it. So I'm just going to download this ISO, put it on a USB stick, and then I'll boot up to that, and I'll meet you there.
Before we dive into today's video, I want to give a big shout out to our amazing sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is where you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons in math, data analytics, programming, and AI. It's hands down the most effective way to learn. What makes Brilliant uniquely effective is its first principles approach. You build understanding from the ground up with hands-on problem solving, which is proven to be 6 times more effective than watching lecture videos. You'll develop your mind to think like a programmer, building real knowledge and becoming a better thinker along the way. Brilliant's growing number of programming courses are a great way to build foundations and learn real-world applications. Get familiar with Python and start building programs on day one with built-in drag-and-drop editor. Learn the essentials of coding elements, from loops and variables to nesting and conditionals. Develop your mind to think like a programmer and begin writing complex programs to build games and apps. So if you're ready to level up your learning, please visit brilliant.org/thelinuxitguy or scan the QR code to start your 30-day free trial and to get 20% off your premium annual subscription.
Alright, we've made it to the boot menu here, so I'm just going to select Start Linux Mint and press Enter. Alrighty, we're just going to install Linux Mint. I'll let that kick off. Welcome, select your language, hit continue. Keyboard layout, English, continue. You can install multimedia codecs if you'd like. I'm going to erase the entire disk. Install now. And continue. And select your time zone. Continue. And then put your name. Super secret password. Continue. And we're just going to let this install. Alright, the install did finish. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and give it a reboot, and then I'll join you at the first login. Alright, so we're at the first login here. If I click on the cinnamon logo, we see Wayland is still experimental as an option. I'm going to leave it default for now. I'm just going to log in. And we're greeted with a let's go. You can see we're in the Linux Mint 22.1, so we'll go ahead and let's go. We'll launch the desktop colors first. And I'll go dark and green. Go ahead and close out of that. I am on the recording machine that's got the Nvidia card, but to do the install, I'm using a virtual machine. So we'll go in here in just a minute and we'll look at our drivers here, and I'll show you how to get the Nvidia driver installed. So we'll come back to this piece. But we'll go ahead and close out of that. And I just want to go in. The first install, I always like to go in here and just check for updates. So we'll say no here, apply the update to the update manager. Yep, continue. And there's that new dialog box. It's rounded, it's darker. Go ahead and put in your password, authenticate. Okay, we've got 15 updates, so we'll go ahead and do those. Okay, I'm going to give the VM a reboot, and then when we come back, I just want to go into Software Center, see how quick that loads, and then we can go over some of the new features. I did just get back from the reboot, but something I noticed, I should have just kept recording here. When you go to restart, this is that new menu. This is what it looks like here. So you got cancel, suspend, restart, and shut down. So just restart. And for anyone that wants to see what that looked like, there you go. Alright, so we'll just log back in. Close out of that. And let's go into Software Manager. Let's see how quick this loads. Okay, not too bad. Let's search for something. I'll do local SID. Yeah, boom, it's pretty quick. At this point, I think we're ready to shut down so we can capture from the physical recording desktop machine. So I'm just going to shut this VM down and I will be right back. Alright, so I tried to right click, go into display settings and make an adjustment here and hit apply so you could see that dialog box, the new one. But it completely messed up OBS recording software, so you guys will just have to look at the screenshot or test it out yourself. So I'll just close out of here and let's pull up welcome so we can get back to the Nvidia driver. Alright, so welcome app, driver manager, you just go to launch there and you're going to be greeted with like 3 options. You've got your Nvidia driver 550, Nvidia driver 535, so a bit older hardware, would probably want to use that one. And then you've got the open source, which if you're just going into this for the first time, you're probably sitting on this option here. So if you want to enable the proprietary Nvidia drivers, just select the Nvidia driver 550. If you're on, sort of newer, I would say an RTX 3050 and up, you should be good going with this option. Anything older than that, I'd probably try this. I'd probably try this Nvidia driver 535. But anyway, you select it, hit apply. It's going to download and then ask you to restart. And then once you've done that, come back in, and you can just bring up a terminal and type in Nvidia-SMI. Press enter, and that'll let you know that the driver is installed and working. Okay, let's take a look at the power profile. So preferences, and then we're going to go down to power management. And you'll see we've got this power mode, balance, power saver. You should have a performance as well. I'm not sure why I don't have that. I am on my hardware now. We're not on the virtual machine anymore. So I'm not sure why we don't have that one there. But yeah, preferences, power management is a way to get to it. Or if you come to the bottom right and you click on your battery, you've got your power profiles here as well. So right now I'm set to balanced. I'd like to get the performance. I'll need to figure out a way to do that. Need to find out why that's not enabled right now. Alright, let's check out the new night light feature. So if we do super system settings, there's night light, and we can drag it over, click to preview, or I need to enable it first. Click to preview. Hopefully you're able to see this in the recording. That's darker, we'll go lighter. Click to preview. And then if you uncheck that, things don't go back to normal. I had to come down here and highlight automatic again for them to go back to normal. There we go. So it is a bit finicky, but I don't know if going back into it with that unchecked is what did it, or selecting automatic again. Not sure. But yep, that's night light, and you can set this to start at a specific time, start at night, or just be automatic. And we've already seen the new Cinnamon 6.4 dialog boxes and the way things look, but what I'd like to do now is just go through the system tray and kind of give you more of a detailed view here. So all the way on the right, you've got your show desktop. So if I were to throw some windows open, click that, they'd minimize. Click it again, they'd come back. Let me see if I can throw some things up here just to test it out. All right, so I'm gonna click the show desktop. They go away, show it again, they come back. So just like you'd expect. And then you've got your date and your time. You click that, you've got your calendar. And that is rounded and darker now in 6.4. Click your battery. Again, you've got your power profiles. You got your sound, network connection. If you have a USB device connected, this is basically the eject button for that. And then your notifications. I've got some Bluetooth devices that have been connected, and it's telling me how much charge they've got left. Then you've got your software updates for your system. There's your Bluetooth connection, and then I'm using OBS Studio to record this, so that's that. And you go over to the left, you've got your super, and that's the new darker theme for Cinnamon 6.4. Okay, let's take a look at some of the wallpapers. So I'm just going to right click, change desktop background. And I will drag this to the other screen so you get a full screen view here. Well, actually, before I do that, let's go under wallpapers. This is going to be where all the new ones are. So under Linux Mint, you've got your traditional, and then Wilma, these came out with version 22. So nothing new there, but under wallpapers, this is where they've got the new stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over here so you got a full screen. This is called Xmas Bouquet, Confetti, Building, City, CPU, I feel like I've seen that one before. Cubes. Curved. Curves. Gold. Hearts. Pipes. Square. Stripes. Wall. Waves. White. Wave. I'm not going to try to pronounce that one. Curtain. Digital stream. I feel like I've seen that one too. Light. Pearl. Sparkling. Abstract. Looks like Apple OS. Black. Heart. Order. Silver. 3D render. Pink. Rose. Black. Dark. Purple glitter. Baltic. Dawn. Deeper. Hiding. Hope. Pearl. Sweets. Winter. Mountains. Psychedelic. Computer art. Snow. Sphere. And blue. So those are all the new wallpapers in Linux Mint 22.1, and they are under this wallpapers section now instead of, being under the code name like they normally do it. They just put it under wallpapers this time. All right, let's go ahead and bring up terminal, and we'll do a neofetch here. Okay, you can see we're on Linux Mint 22.1. The kernel is 6.8.0-50. We've got 22 Debian packages, 25 Flatpaks. That's not standard. This is my recording machine. I've got Steam, Lutris, lots of games installed, and various other things. I've been testing this yesterday and today, and I have not ran into any major issues so far, so that's great. Bash 5.2.21. Cinnamon 6.4.2. The window manager is Mutter. My Ryzen 5600. My Nvidia 3050. And I'm using about 2 gigs out of my 16. And I am recording. I got my notes open on another screen. And that's about it. So I've got an open folder, an open terminal, an open text editor, and OBS right at 2 gigs. Okay, let's do a system info. So again, Linux Mint 22.1, Cinnamon 6.4.2, Linux kernel 6.8.0-50, my AMD 5600, 16 gigs of memory with my 3050 video card, and I'm running in X11. I'll do some more testing in Wayland to see how far it's came with the Nvidia cards. But just to get the video out, I stuck with X11. Alright, and I want to see if 22.1 works well with the toolbox. So I'm just going to pull up github.com/thelinuxitguy, go to toolbox, and I've updated the README to include a copy section. So literally all you got to do is come in here, click this button, it'll copy it for you. Bring up a terminal, paste that in, press enter. It'll go grab it, clone it, and then it'll run it. So here's the toolbox. Let's say we want to install Edge. What else could we grab? We'll do HTOP. And then at the same time, we want to uninstall Thunderbird. Let's see if I've still got that installed. Maybe I already removed it. Well, there's local send. I can uninstall that. Okay, so I do have local send. So we'll go ahead and remove local send and install Edge. And under the administration tab, we'll install Fast Fetch. So I'm just going to click run and then let it do its thing. Oop, I need to type in my password here. Alright, the applications have been installed and or removed. Press OK on that. We can go ahead and quit. Close the terminal. Alright, so if I click on start and I try to search for local send, you'll see that's gone. And if I try to search for Edge, there it is. So it looks like the utility is working just fine in Linux Mint 22.1. I just wanted to test that out. Kind of show you guys how it looks if you weren't familiar with the Linux IT Guy toolbox. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out these other ones. They're packed with helpful and informative information. This has been Chris, the Linux IT Guy, and I'll see you in the next one.